Hello! This is Anna, the PrettyShepherd, and today I want to show you some more hairstyles from the new Witcher series on Netflix. I will be tackling some of Tissaia de Vries' hairstyles today. For those of you who have no knowledge of the Witcher series, books, games or series, Tissaia de Vries is the rectress of Aretusa, the school where they train sorceresses. In the movie they decided to go for a very Victorian-esque look, and I think it's a fitting look for her because in the books the author goes into great lengths to describe her. She has a little bit of an OCD. She would always fidget with her lace cuffs so that they would sit evenly. Yeah, I decided to go for this blouse look, even though this is not really what she wears in the series, but oh well. Larger artistic liberties have been taken before. She has a very typical hairstyle throughout the whole season, and we're going to take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and I will try to show you 3 variations. All of the 3 hairstyles are going to start out with the same type of sectioning, so we're going to get that out of the way first. We're starting with a midway parting, and then we will section off 2 parts from the top of your head to the base of your ear. The back of the hair is going to go into a kind of a mid-low ponytail. With that out of the way, we can get started on our first variation. Towards the beginning of the season, Tissaia wears her hair pretty sleek, slightly combed over her ears, and that's what our first look is going to be like. We are going to pull this hair over the ear, and we're going to give it a twist, but only pretty far back behind the ear. And now we're going to pin this into place just above the ponytail. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Tissaia's hairstyles are pretty symmetrical. The front part of my hair never likes to sit symmetrically. One part tends to floof up a little bit, and then the other one has this weird curve. But I've learned to live with this. For the first hairstyle, I'm going to use the hair in the ponytail and create 2 English braids. Optional steps. Admit defeat. Clip hair out of the way. Become a legendary hairy comb! We are also going to take the 2 strands from the front, which we pinned above the bun, and we're going to create an English braid there as well. 1 braid out of the 2 strands. Now we're going to create a vortex bun with our 2 braids from the ponytail, leaving out the 1 braid from the front. Twist half a circle and pin. Twist half a circle with the 2nd braid and pin. We have our vortex bun finished, and we have this loose hanging braid, which we are going to turn into a smaller bun on top of the big bun. As far as I could tell from the movie, the thinnest part of the braid was at the center of the bun, whereas the thickest is on the outside. Shape the bun starting from the outside, spiraling your way to the center. When the roll shape is achieved, you can grab it and twist it to tighten the bun. Secure with pins. And this is our first look finished. I really like this kind of figure 8 that the double buns create on top of each other with the small circle and the big one. So this might actually be my favorite of Tissaia's buns. However, it is not my favorite when it comes to the front of her hair. Let's move on to some different ones. Well, I do have a Witcher trick to show you if you want. Xelil 8. You know what that means, don't you? For the second look, we are going to leave the ponytail as is with the braid, but for the front of the hair, first we're going to pull it a little bit over the ear and start twisting from there. Now instead of pinning it over the ponytail, we're actually going to twist it around the ponytail. And the same on the other side. With this base bun that we've created, we are going to use it to create a more elongated style of the bun. It's going to be a pretty similar technique to the vortex bun, but we won't go in perfect circles. Instead, we are going to make the bun more flat. Make sure that you start with one of the strands on the right side of the bun and with the other strand on the left. One of them goes over and the other one goes under. And that's the finished look for the second one. I wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer. So, disclaimer, these hairstyles are sometimes amalgamations of multiple hairstyles because sometimes you can very well see the back of the hair and not get a good enough idea of what goes on in the front or vice versa. So, some of these are just combinations. That's it for her second variation. And now to move on to the third, which has my most favorite front part. What? You want to see another Witcher trick? Ignite by the power of chaos, the conjunction of spheres and post-production. Ta! For the third look, we are going to braid the ponytail into 2 rope braids. If you don't know how to create a rope braid, it's very easy. You just take 2 strands of hair, you twist them clockwise, and then you turn them around each other anti-clockwise. You may have noticed how I've been adding bobby pins to the ends of braids. That's because I'm going to put the braid in a bun anyway, and I'm trying to be less wasteful with the generally single-use rubber hair elastics. Now we have our 2 rope braids, and I'm going to create the bun with it. It's going to be a vortex bun, yet again. For this bun, leave the thin ends of the rope braids loose. So now we've got the ends of these braids, which are very thin rope braids. We're going to use it to decorate the top of the bun in kind of a crisscross pattern. And now for these 2. So the secret to these poofy hairs without any backcombing or hairspray is firstly a very good brush. Then you want to flip it and brush it into the direction that you want the poofy poof poof to go in. Side backwards in our case. And then you hold the hair in the direction that you want it to go and start twisting it, but pretty far back, kind of close to the bun, and leave this front area loose. So we have our 2 little poofies, and we're going to rope braid these 2 loose hanging strands. Make sure you don't pull very tight as you start the braid, because you could risk tightening the poof. Nice! We have our little rope braids. Once again, here's a prime example of how the front of my hair just doesn't want to sit the same way. One side likes to go directly up and poofy, and the other side just likes to go sideways and flat. So now, what are we gonna do with these 2 loose rope braids? We are going to add it on top of the bun as icing on the cake in totally random directions. Alright, so our RNG was pretty good. I checked it in the mirror and it looks pretty random. And that's the finished look. Now do let me know if you've read the Witcher book series or played the games. Do you think they've done a good job in representing the characters? As I said before, I really enjoyed the way that they tackled Tissaia's character. I may not be quite so happy about other sorceresses. But considering Henry Cavill's witchering, I don't really think we have a lot to complain about. Oh, wait, do you want to see a witcher trick? Do you? Come closer. Come closer, that's it. Come closer. Good. Axie! You love The Witcher. You love the series, the books, and the games. And also adore Geralt of Rivia. And you can extend that love and adoration to this video by giving it a thumbs up. That's it. Now, for all of you who have been born during an eclipse and are immune to magic, I would plainly like to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I may do some more witchery stuff in the future. However, you can always expect historical and folklorical themes for me to tackle. Bye-bye! But the story is this, she'll destroy with a sweet kiss. A sweet kiss. Oh, but the story is this, she'll destroy with a sweet kiss. Oh, but the story is this, she'll destroy with a sweet kiss. A sweet kiss. Oh, but the story is this, she'll destroy with a sweet kiss.